Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday, the 11th day of December 2024. I hope you're safe and healthy today. I hope your family's safe and healthy, and I hope the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with first responders who are out here every day, firemen, policemen, ambulance workers, saving lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and children that are the unfortunate victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People that are also victims of pornography, child pornography, prostitution, child prostitution, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that make these industries go. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, homeless in the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There's going to be a basketball game tonight at Madison Square Garden. The New York Knicks will be playing the Atlanta Hawks in the semifinals of the Emirates Cup. Now, Atlanta is always one of those teams that are rivals of the United States, of the New York Knicks of the United States, of the New York Knicks. They're New York Knicks rivals, and it's always been that way. It's been a long time before Trae Young ever was even born. Back in the '90s, it's always been like that. But now it's typical, but it's more flavor to it because of the Leprechaun. The Leprechaun has shown out. They've beaten us in the playoff series a couple of years ago. And he has shown out at Madison Square Garden. And in the last game we played, they beat us in Atlanta. So, yes, there's going to be a lot to deal with tonight. Now, Atlanta's a very interesting team. They have a very good core. They're kind of rebuilding on the fly, but because they have Trae Young and the Clint Capella and the DeAndre Hunter, who are all veterans, very skilled veterans, that stops them from being a complete rebuild. But they got some really good young players. Onyeka Okongwu, Jalen Johnson. Okongwu's like 24. Jalen Johnson's like 22. Dyson Daniels is like 21. Zachary Risache, 19. These are all very young players, and they're all very good players, very high level NBA players. They're NBA players at a good level for where they're at. DeAndre Hunter, along with the Leprechaun, is a long-time Knick killer. DeAndre Hunter usually hits a lot of three-pointers against the Knicks. And so this is going to be a challenge. It's going to be a challenge. Now, so they're good in, like any team in the NBA. Any team could beat any team on any given night. Many of y'all forget that. Some knucklehead came in talking about we should be beating lesser teams. Ain't no lesser teams in the NBA. Okay, you can consider a rebuilding team, maybe a lesser team, but even they will beat you. This is the league. Everybody could play. So, but Atlanta's more than just a rebuilding team. Okay, they're 13-12, 6-4 in their last 10, very respectable. And so they're scrappy. So on any given night, they can beat anybody, okay, including the Knicks. So what does that mean for the Knicks? Well, let's first look at the injury report for Atlanta. So for Atlanta, Bogdanovich is questionable, along with Jalen Johnson, who is a big piece. He's a starter. He's questionable. Trae Young and DeAndre Hunter are both listed as probable. So their day-to-day. Young has a Achilles, probably a sore Achilles. Hunter is probable. I don't know they don't list what the problem is, but he's probable. And Bogdanovich and Jalen Johnson are questionable. So let's assume they're all going to play. For the Knicks, we only list Karl Anthony Towns, who's probable, and Josh Hart, who's questionable. So we know Towns is going to play. Hart will probably play. If he misses a game, it's because he's really hurt. And we were talking about that. I was talking about this with somebody on my channel the other day. He's always hurt, not because he's injury prone. He just plays through pain. Josh Hart. just like Jalen Brunson. They play through pain. And so if he misses a game, he's really in pain, okay? But I got to think he probably plays tonight, tries to go regardless, even if he's one ankle. And then if they win tonight, they play again Saturday. So if they win tonight, they go to Vegas and they get 3 days off, right? So that's plenty of time for an ankle, sprain to heal. So especially for an NBA player, world-class athletes. So he'll probably be ready to play Saturday. So he'll probably play tonight, figuring if, whatever happens, if he wins, they're going to get 3 days off anyway. So I'm expecting Hart and Cat to both play. Now, that being the case, as far as matchups are concerned, again, okay, the key here for the Knicks, of course, they got to play their game, which they haven't really been able to do it yet for various reasons, but their game is they got to play defense, especially perimeter D, guard the paint. They got to rebound, okay? They got to rebound, play defense, control the basketball. Now, lately, for the Knicks, specifically last game, they were missing a lot of free throws. And they're the number one free throw shooting team in the league. So I don't expect that to continue as far as the missing. They shot 63% from the line the last game here. So I don't expect that to continue. I don't expect them to continue to shoot from the line like that, like they did in Toronto. So that, I'm assuming, is going to be shored up. So they have to play defense, they have to rebound, they have to control the basketball. They do these things, we should be in good shape. Now, all things being equal, Trae Young is probably going to be guarded by Jalen Brunson. Dyson Daniels will probably be guarded by Josh Hart. You're going to have the twin, our bookends at the wing, wing stop between Hunter and Johnson. That'll be OG and McCall. And, of course, Kato will be guarding Capella or Onyeka Okongwu, whichever one. Capella is going to start. So, and there'll be a lot of switching. But the good thing about the Knicks is we could switch. There's no problem. It don't matter. We could have OG guarding Capella. You could have Gato guarding Jalen Johnson. We could switch. No problem. So you got to respect them, but you got to play them head up, okay? You can't let nobody go. Whereas for the Knicks, well, Trae Young can't guard a shadow. So whoever he's guarding can take advantage of him. It's going to have an advantage. No matter who it is on the floor, no matter where they are, okay? They're going to have an advantage. Dyson Daniels can guard 1 through 5, okay? DeAndre Hunter, he's a good defender also. And then Jalen Johnson is, and of course Capella. Well, this is the thing about Capella. He's not 25 years old anymore. Gato, if Capella has to come out to the three-point line to guard El Gato Grande, he's going to be at El Gato Grande's mercy. Okay, so yeah. And if El Gato Grande is hitting the three and Capella tries to come out to him, we already know El Gato Grande will go to the hole and flush it. So that's going to be a big advantage. So we got two advantages here. Trae Young can't guard anybody, period. Just can't. And then Capella can't guard. Well, his mobility is limited. And so if he's got to stay out there and guard, God, he's going to have a problem. He's going to have a problem guarding any of our guys. Capella's strength is guarding the rim. So if somebody's coming at him and he's under the basket, that's you're going into his strength. But the way the Knicks play with Gato is they're 5 out. So if Gato's out and he's hitting his three, this is going to be an easy night. Okay, because then they got to bring in Okongwu. Okongwu is much more mobile than Clint Capella, a great defender. I actually think they're going to trade Capella as soon as they can and give that spot to Onyeka Okongwu. It's due. It's time. But until then, Clint Capella starts. I think Okongwu will do better against Gato than Capella will. So we'll see. But that's the two advantages the Knicks have. So for them to win tonight, overall, they got to come with energy. Again, it's energy. And this is why I keep mentioning energy. Again, many people don't understand this. They have been shorthanded for 23 games, okay? Shorthanded. They haven't had their full contingent, so everybody's playing more minutes. People act like it's Tibbs' fault. It's not Tibbs' fault. Please don't be Twitter stupid. He has to play the 5 guys because that's all he's got right now. But now he's got Precious and Deuce and Payne. None of them on the injury report. So you're going to have all three of them. And he's going to play them. And so every game those three guys get to play together off the bench, they're going to get a little better. So that's going to be the advantage too. Because, well, it's not really a big advantage because you got Reza Shea, you got Onyeka Okongwu, and you got Bogdanovich. That's a pretty good daggone bench right there, okay? That's a very good bench. But the Knicks got a good bench too. So we kind of matched them there. So the advantage, again, is going to be Trae Young defensively and Capella defensively. So if we bring the energy that we can play with the defensive side of the basketball, and that's the key. It's not the lack of Mitchell Robinson. We like to have Mitch back, but we got enough. We just need the energy now. So you got the three guys coming off your bench. You got the full contingent. Precious can play 30-something minutes if you need him to. Deuce can play 30-something minutes if you need him to. So could Payne, but Deuce and Capella, Deuce and Precious especially, they can go 48 if you want them to. So we got the personnel now. We should be able to bring that energy. We're at MSG. We should be able to bring that energy today. So if they could bring that energy, that's an advantage because then we can exploit the Leprechaun, we can exploit Capella, and we can get some things done. We can guard the perimeter because DeAndre Hunter and Jalen Johnson can shoot the three, okay? Dyson Daniels now can too. Dyson Daniels is their version of Deuce, except Daniels is like 6'6", 6'7", okay? And he could guard, and he came into the league as a defender coming out of the G League or Unite or whatever he was on, but he wasn't in college. He came out to play, and he can play defense. I liked him coming out of there, but I didn't want to draft him top 10. That was my problem with him then, okay, when he was coming out. I liked Dyson Daniels. He was a great defender, but I didn't want to spend a top 10 lottery pick on him. But somebody did. New Orleans did, but he didn't. He found his footing in Atlanta. So he's starting at the 2 guard for Atlanta, and he now has developed a jump shot. See, Deuce, as a comparison, Deuce had a jump shot. When he was at West Virginia, he had a jump shot. He had a jump shot coming into the league, but people just didn't follow him, just didn't realize that, and was acting like, well, now he's developed. No, he's already had a jump shot. He just had to get used to the speed of the league. Daniels has never had a jump shot. He was in Australia, couldn't shoot. He was in the G League, couldn't shoot. He's now shooting. He can shoot now. So you cannot leave him open. So that's going to be a challenge. Okay, so Dyson Daniels, DeAndre Hunter, Jalen Johnson, that's going to be a challenge. I really think that our guy, Brunson, can guard their guy, the Leprechaun. And I really believe the Leprechaun cannot. And Brunson could be on one leg. The Leprechaun cannot guard him. But he can guard the Leprechaun. The thing about the Leprechaun is if he is shooting from the logo and he has no problem pulling up from there and he's hitting that shot, he becomes very dangerous, okay? That becomes a different problem. Until, of course, Thibodeau calls on the Deuce card. That'll shut that down. But as starters, I think Brunson could stay with that dude, okay, and do a decent job against him. And it's not going to, like, lock him up or anything. He's going to still get his points, but Brunson can make it tough on him. Whereas, like I said, there is no way in hell he could guard Jalen Brunson. There's just no way. I have no respect for Trae Young's defensive abilities. So Jalen Brunson will abuse him. They're going to have to double. They could probably have Dyson Daniels try to guard Brunson, which means that Trae Young's going to try to guard Josh Hart. We still got an advantage. Whoever he's guarding needs to get the basketball. Okay, and so we'll see what happens. But that's the advantage here. So we got to have the energy so that we can play defense. That's the key thing here. And offensively, attack Trae Young, attack Clint Capella. We should be okay. And the way they've been moving the ball, that is the Knicks, 30 assists a game, we're going to put them through their paces, okay? So the key thing, though, is they got to bring the energy on the defensive end of the floor. If they do that, we could have a good night. If not, it's going to be a battle. And I don't want to see Trae Young traipsing around the garden, dancing and laughing and joking. I'd like to see him take his little behind back to the locker room after he take this ass whooping. You enjoy the game. Sugar.